Yeah. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We got an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. This show was inspired by a conversation me and my son PJ had.
Okay.
In regards to, he was bringing up to me, hey, Daddy, I want to talk about investing and getting into investing and everything. Okay. And what he said to me, started a conversation about having this show. Was he's seeing the videos, the guys that are doing the fixing and flipping, the investors and stuff. And he said, but Daddy, they saying they were doing this. And I got the whole concept in regards to they bought the property, fixed the property, and sold the property and everything. They made the money. He said, but what keeps sticking to me, how did they get the money?
Right. Okay. And to begin with.
Yeah, how did they get the money to begin with? Because they just said they got the money. And that's why I want to have, the conversation tonight, because tonight show we're talking about what do I get the money for my business? Because far too often influencers say all the time, I got the loan, I leverage debt to acquire properties in my business, but they don't tell you how, right? And what they often leave out is how they actually qualify and what lenders are looking for and the risk that's involved. Okay. A lot of times without any kind of context, new entrepreneurs may jump in a funding option that can sink them before they start. Okay. And I always tell people a lot of times, when you listen to a lot of these influencers, this ain't, to talk bad about anybody, it's more so to inspire people to think. People will tell you a version or a certain way to do certain things, but they don't give you the actual blueprint, pros and cons, and things like that.
Right.
And so that's why I want to have that conversation regarding answering that question, where do I get the money from? Because there are too many times people are sold a dream in regards to what they can do in regards to business. I mean, when they get into it, they choose options. They can't even survive afterwards, right? So that's why I want to have that conversation again tonight. Show we're talking about where do I get the money from for my business. Okay?
Or as Slick says, where I get that money at?
Yeah. Again, this is the Dollar Hour. I'm Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Right now we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But the main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have over 1,400 videos, an active grant list with over 150 different grant opportunities. So there's a lot of great information there. So if you have to leave the show, depending on what platform you're on, make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. You can check out this video in its full entirety, along with all the other great information we have on the channel. Before we get started, we'll say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, what's happening?
It's another great and knowledge-filled Thursday.
Hey, absolutely.
The best day of the week, of course.
Absolutely.
How was your week?
Hey, man, my week was good, man.
Right.
Business been booming, man.
Okay.
Business been booming, man, and how about do? How about do? You know what I'm saying? I say I'm blessed,
right.
Shit, how about they do? Yeah. You
gotta be careful what you wish for.
You calling your damn phone, make sure your phone working. Right. Phone work, ain't nobody calling. So we've been out the chisel later, so
okay.
I appreciate it.
That's right.
I also want to say what's up to my other producer, Sleep 316. What's up, Rick?
What's on, Rick?
Hey, man, again, man, tonight show we're talking about what I get the money from my business, because again, it tripped out. PJ came to me like, man, I'm looking at all these fixing and flipping folks, and they giving all the whole thing and what they doing as far as buying, acquiring and stuff, but where that money coming from? And there's so many people that on the internet selling folks, hey, this is how you get the bag to this. This is how you get credit for this. This is how you get approved for that. And I've seen a video, get this neighbor credit card, get this federal credit card, get this item, get that item. And people don't understand a lot of those things may actually do be available. It's the cost.
Okay.
It's the cost.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about what I mean by cost, this gigantic ass rate that when you end up getting access to this kind of money, you wish you never even seen that damn influencer or whoever on the internet. But it's going to be a good conversation tonight, guys. Feel free to, number one, if you got a question or comments, put them in the chat. And if you want to call in, feel free to call in. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. One quick thing I want to add, I will talk about the grant stuff. at the end of the show. Right now, we're talking about where do I get the money? Where I get the money at? So that's what the context of tonight's show. But I promise you, and if you do have to leave, just leave it in the comments. I promise you I'll circle back with everything. But definitely, let's stay on the subject matter tonight with that. That happened a couple times already. Right. But I will answer your question. I promise you that.
Okay.
But again, tonight we're talking about where do I get the money from? Where do I get the money at to start my business? There are a lot of different factors people have to look for in regards to just getting funded for a business, right? And let's first of all want to start off when we start looking at those particular things is number one, you got different avenues that you can get it from, but let's go some of the actual realistic, standard lending process you have. And the first one being just traditional business loans.
Okay.
Traditional business loans where you can apply for them at banks, credit unions, or SBA backed loans. Can you hear me good now?
Oh, yeah.
Make sure. Okay, cool.
We got new wires and everything on these mics. Look at this.
Guys, just in case you didn't know.
Clear.
Just in case you didn't know. Right now, we're filming in there. I know on the Instagram and TikTok on the phone. But on the camera, Lab just told me we're in True HD.
True HD.
So, hey, matter of fact, you might want to go on YouTube and check me out. So we see your boy in True HD.
We can dang near see your nose hairs.
Hey, man. I shade him.
Right. We can say, I didn't know. This is real quick off the subject. We can say, it's so clear. I never knew that Cliff had an earring in his ear. That's how clear it was.
Check it out.
Right.
True HD. That's cool. Shout out to Cliff and his earring.
Right.
But again, we're talking about these particular ways to get avenues to get funding for your bids. We're gonna go the first one, the first couple ones that are actually traditional ones, and that's like I said before, your traditional business loans, and those can be acquired from banks, credit unions, SBA backed loans. Here's the kicker: usual requirements for those, strong personal and business credit, or at least one of them. But typically damn both. And they, when you go to you want to get a business loan, they're typically asking for a personal guarantor that even though the loan may not hit your credit report, it will be on the tax under the tax ID number of the business.
Okay.
But they will want a personal guarantor, an individual that, just in case this loan defaults, we will use you as the person that would be the default. They'll be defaulted for it. I seen on the internet, I ain't gonna say no names, but I seen a video where a person was saying, do not be a personal guarantor for your business loan. And when I sat there and looked at it and people clapping and stuff, most people are not gonna give you a damn loan if you don't have a personal guarantor. You're gonna be, I did a video on this a couple years back about personal guarantors. And like I said again,
I remember
the loan will be for the business, it's under business tax ID, but they typically have to have a personal guarantor. And I will give you guys a heads up. Most of the time, for you to qualify, they want that personal guarantor to have at least a 700 credit score, at least a 700 credit score. And most business loan, most banks will not fund you unless they're a personal guarantor. There are ways to avoid doing that, but typically what happens is the terms are drastically changed.
Right.
Shorter terms in regards to the years they will give it to you, and higher rates.
Okay.
Right. So just kind of keep that. I want folks to really understand that because again, that's where we go back before. It was a very popular influencer saying something this back a couple weekends ago at one of these was at Invest Fest. They said, "Do not be a personal guarantor for your loan," and people were clapping. But I can just tell you, you're gonna have a tough time finding somebody approving you for a business loan without a personal guarantor.
Let me ask you a question: when you don't have a personal guarantor, does it have does the rates get towards the predatory lending stage? Like the rates get up so high that it's kind of it's not necessarily there, but it's tiptoeing in the 28s and 27%.
No, because that's a good question. The reason why I don't want to get that high because when you're dealing with banks or credit unions, they're regulated.
Okay.
So they got a ceiling. They can't go to. That makes sense.
Yeah, but
okay.
They'll
get high now. I think not predatory, uncomfortable.
Okay.
I'd rather use that.
Okay.
But the banks just because they're regulated, they can't get. You get what I'm saying. So, typically you might go with a regular business loan, prime, be the prime rate plus, whatever they add on top of it. They might be 2 or 3 more points. But the terms drastically change when you don't have that. But most just want to go down that road with you. They want to have a person guarantor, and depending on the loan amount, they might want to collateralize your personal assets, or business assets with that. So that's just something to keep in mind. So again, we're talking about the actual traditional business loans. They want you that stronger personal business credit. They want a solid business plan with financial projections.
Okay.
You just can't say I need some money to get some money, also to make some more money. They want to see it on paper.
So so basically, they want to see how you plan to pay the money back, but how is your business going to generate this money?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, more so just the income statement, all that projected over a 1, 3, 5, 10 year perspective, right?
Okay.
And just in regards, when you get this cash infusion from us, how is that going to benefit you? Okay, I am making $100,000 a year. If you give me the loan to buy this $50,000 generator, I can produce 5 times as much. 5 times as much will generate me 10 times as much revenue.
Okay.
And I'm showing these numbers on paper. Makes sense?
It makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
So, I'm using it to get there. I might hire some more people. More people will actually allow me to make more money, serve more customers, whatever, do that. But they want to see that on paper.
Okay.
Right. So those kind of things you got to think about. And I will say this, guys, just as good practice, this is stuff that you should do on your damn own anyway as a business owner. Those projections, performance statements to kind of know, hey, I'm here, and at the end of the year, I want to be there, and each other year, right? So it's just good practice. Again, guys, I say far too often, business owners avoid that stuff because it makes you accountable. But if you do it, it makes you knowledgeable.
Okay.
Because now I ain't going in the wrong way. I'm here, and I want to be there. What I got to do, right? But also, in a year or two, I want to be there. In 3 years, I want to be here. 5 years, I want to be there. So it's just good practice, guys. And it's a very good exercise for any business owner to exercise between that October to December range. I wouldn't wait till the end of the year to try to draft and forecast numbers. We'll kind of be working what we talked about before, that business plan, y'all. Look at the videos we set for goal setting for each year. You can go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and see that. But make it a good practice, man. Come October, like, hey, let me start kind of getting my numbers together. But those are things that they're going to be looking for.
Say hey to mama real quick.
What's up, mama?
Hey, mama.
I just got a phone mama a little while ago.
Hey, mama. Good to see you. See you in the chat.
Appreciate you tuning in, mama. And another requirement, a lot of the actual traditional lending institutions, i.e. bank, credit unions or SBA back loans, they want collateral assets in many cases, like I just stated. And a lot of times, you just got to be realistic that when they come to you, when you want to go to these places, it's going to be the cheapest, but again, it's going to be scrutinized the most. Some of the pros of just dealing with those particular organizations is lower interest rates, lower interest than alternatives, and you have usually longer repayment terms. So you're going to cost a lot less, and the terms are better in regards to, instead of, being 3-year loan, maybe a 5, 10, 15, 20-year loan. Guys, I really want people to understand, don't get so caught up into what you may feel like it's uncomfortable for you to be able to disclose. I.e. your financial statement, filling out this big old package of documents, and you got to retrieve this kind of stuff. Because what I just said is in regards to lower interest rates, and you can go to Mr. Short on YouTube where we explain what a prime rate is. The prime rate is what's given out by the Federal Reserve and everything. So what banks add another couple percentage on. So the prime is, they add a couple percentage on top of it, right? Points. We'll say points. So the prime rate is 5%. Banks add maybe 3%. So now it's 8%. That's usually interest rate. That's how that usually goes. And they adjust that depending on not necessarily lower, but if it might be higher in regards to the actual your credit score rating or what they feel may be adverse for the risk. That's typically how they come around, as you guys know. But I have a whole video explaining what the prime rate is and how the Federal Reserve come to that, right? But again, when you start dealing with regulated agencies, i.e. banks, credit unions, things like that, they're regulated. So like the last question about being predatory, they really can't. It can't be. They can only go so far. Like when we start dealing with regulated agencies, right? But again, I like these words more uncomfortable. Again, but that's one of the things I want people to just kind of keep in mind. For don't get so stuck into what you have to submit. As opposed to what you're going to get in the grand scheme of things, right? Just a little hard to acquire, but probably better for you in the big picture. Some of the cons of dealing with them is harder to qualify for you, especially if you're brand new. And it's a very, very slow approval process, right? Because you might have to come back and forth for going. It ain't no payday loan, ain't no title pond. So you might be back and forth with these documents, Hey, This is not what we want. The underwriter want to see some more stuff, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. So if you're mentally prepared, say, hey, this is the journey. I want this money. And again, when you're going through this kind of stuff, I always look at it like, I'm here and I want to be there, and this is all the kind of stuff I got to go through in between to get there.
Okay.
If you got the right mindset going into it, you'll be okay.
Okay.
But if you go into it like, hey, man, I need this money right then and there, like a payday loan, title point, that shit ain't gonna work. Okay. Right? But it's gonna cost you a whole lot less in the grand scheme of things, right?
It's just gonna take you a little bit more time.
We talk about the difference of, we got a $50,000 loan. One note may be $500 a month that you might have got from an actual regulated institution. Another may be $800 to $900 a month that you had to get because you went somewhere unregulated, scores higher. So again, you got the money, but it costs you paying back is a lot, and it happens all the time, guys. Banks want to lend people money. Banks want to lend to people who don't really need it, meaning stability matters more than height. Guys, I want you again understand that the banks in the business to make money. Okay. So they want to give you money. It ain't benefiting them. When you have a savings account, they're paying you interest.
Right.
So they losing money.
Okay.
So when you got fees coming out, that you paying the bank fees or you paying interest on loan, that's making them money. So that's they're in the business. So them deny you this, that, and that. Have things happen over the years and stuff like that? Right. Absolutely. Redlining, prejudice and stuff. Absolutely. But guys, right now, I ain't saying stuff don't happen now, but shit, if you can get money just on the damn through your phone applying and stuff like that, they don't even know what color y'all. Right. Now, if you want to be this conspiracy theorist and Social Security number tied to who you are and all that, we can go. But for the most part, guys, is you have the access to get the funding is extremely more easy than it was 5-10 years ago. Remember, they're in the money. They're in the business to make money. Okay.
I think the process is what scares a lot of people from going to the banks where the rates are more favorable and more manageable. I think just the process, like you said, all the paperwork, make people thinking they're gonna ask questions that they don't want to answer. Like I think that's one of the main reasons a lot of people, get scared about going to get loans from a bank. It's neither here nor there. I mean, you go through that process. You still got some questions and stuff to answer when you go to the payday loans and stuff like that. So I think the questions even are more inquisitive at the payday loan place because you're going to have to ask the question of where your mama and them live at. Because you're right,
Well, I can understand it might be more intimidating than going anytime you're applying it. I can get that, but shit, you still need the money. Right. So what you going to dwell on you being intimidated or you going to dwell on you need the money? Right. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
I get it, but you still need the money. Right. So you too scared, or you're scared to ask for the food, or you're hungry. So you got to sit here and just kind of make a decision.
Right. Close mouth don't get fed.
Right? Absolutely not. But I will say this, guys, it's just a matter of practice. The more that you get out there and talk as a business owner, as an individual, the more comfortable you get. The more comfortable you get. Guys, one big thing we missing out of this, guys, and I tell you all the time, everything built on relationships. Right. I keep telling you guys all the time, you're new in business. Go to your local banks. Go to Chase. Go to Bank of America. Go to the credit union. I'm such and such. They may want you to open a bank account, right? Minimum deposit, $150, whatever it is. I'm new in business. I'm probably looking to get funding in the near future. That might be a couple months. That might be a year from now. Go talk to the business banker. Set an appointment. If they don't want to talk to you, they already answered a major question. Hell, I don't want to deal with this damn bank. Right. Because they're not looking to have a relationship with me. Talk to them. Talk to them once a quarter. Send an email. Give them a call. Hey, this, that, and that. Y'all got a relationship. Even they remember, oh, man, he was that damn Mr. Short Dollar calling. Get on my damn nerve. Right. What's up, man? What's going on? Hey, man, I just want to touch base. Hey, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, those kind of things are, going to happen. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if they know you, they're more inclined to do that.
They feel a little bit more comfortable if they feel like they know you anyway, right?
Might be more comfortable. Even still, they just have some kind of relationship with you as you come in there trying to fill out some paperwork, and they have no recollection of who you are, right? Right. And they also can be already dropping dimes in your head, like, look, man, you want to qualify for this, you need to have this, you need to have that. Get access to the information when you don't need it. Like I always keep telling you, I get access to the capital when it's not needed. But get the information. So okay, I already know the minimum credit score is this. I know these are collateralized assets they probably gonna be looking for. They may not want collateral. Mm-hmm. They may want experience. They just don't deal with these particular industries.
Right.
If I got that information before I need to get the loan, I'm good.
Okay.
Because I'm not even gonna call Lab. I'm not gonna call Lab saving the loan because at the end of the day, I know he can't help me. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
But if I got this information, but I already know that hey, they specialize in clubs. Mm-hmm. So again, we can go to them and hey, this, that, and that. I already know they want me to be able to show this, that, and that. So I need to be working on that. So when I need the money, I can get it.
So
you get what I'm saying?
You think when you build a relationship with the bank, that they may throw little nuggets like that in yeah, I know. Again, Ms. Short, though, I appreciate you calling. Next month they're gonna be requiring such and such on that loan you was talking about. You might need in the future. You might want to get on top of that. Just
they may, or they may not. But at the end of the day, like I said again, depending on the interaction you might have with your particular banker, that helps you a lot. Because keep in mind, it's a two-way situation, right? That banker, if he's not closing loans. He's not building a book of business to do that. The bank fire his ass.
Oh, okay.
Keep in mind, like ain't nobody safe in this world.
Right.
I need the money to keep my lights on. Mm-hmm. He need to be damn closing loans to get his bonuses to keep rolling, or he'll get demoted. Right. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? The teller probably on person in the damn bank is safe.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if you're not sitting there building and acquiring new customers, opening up, that's the thing about it, man. And something I think that's probably a good idea if I get a branch manager or somebody like that. Mm-hmm. On one of these, I don't necessarily know if they can do it, but somebody probably been in that case, probably shed a lot of light to what they're looking for, because that's what I want to be able to give people information from those folks. And I would tell people, go talk to the people that's going to give you the loan, not Mr. Short Dollar. Right. I can tell you from experience, hey, these are the things they normally look at. Mm-hmm. But, it helps a lot to know what criteria Chase have, what criteria Bank of America have, what criteria Wells have, right? Because at the end of the day, it may be different, and they may approach different industries a different way.
Right.
To your point, the question you just had, would they be able to do that? Some may, some not.
Right.
And it may not necessarily be the bank. It might be Johnny, that's your bank. He may not be knowledgeable, experienced enough. You hope that.
Right.
But again, remember the whole process, that helps you out. Like, man, I ain't feeling them. Right. I called them, man, they don't want to call me back.
Right.
They ain't responsive. I ain't dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, I'm out here growing, I'm out here making money. You know what I'm saying? I need you to be there and be responsible. I just got this new contract. Mm-hmm. Look, man, I got to get some more equipment, man. Can y'all help me?
Right.
We got a relationship. Hey, we can cut through a lot of red tape. Look, man, just fill out this stuff and I'll walk it over to the underwriter or whatever. Just kind of keep that in mind. Business is, when you're doing business, it's got to be where you have these relationships talking, right? And when people know you, that'll look you eye to eye, they done sat down and talk with you, and they say, okay, that's a stand-up person. Mm-hmm. You done build a reputation, or you're in the process of building. People feel more comfortable with you.
Right. Okay.
All that shady shit, trying to do this and sneak and do this and report this and did that stuff, man, that shit gonna blow up in your damn face.
Right.
I'm just telling you, and I've never, ever sat there and try to push that to nobody. Well, man, you can sneak and do this, you can sneak and do that, you can go back and file for this and do that. Man, stay the hell away from that stuff if you really trying to build your business, because that gonna blow up in your face.
Right.
It's gonna blow up in your face. You can't do shady stuff when you're trying to grow legitimate.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that part though, Pooch. I think you need to do a show on that, because a lot of people think they can do this quick jug, put that in their business, and they off to the races.
Well, we did that show about, you in business or you in business.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And that's the thing about it, right?
Right.
So a lot of times, people, they don't want to admit to that, because the right way is really the slower way.
The slow way, right?
You know what I'm saying? But that's just one thing I want people to keep in mind. Again, tonight show we're talking about where do I get the money at? Where's the money at in regards to what do I get the funding for my business loan? Again, the show was inspired by my son PJ. I seen PJ come in and out of different little platforms, but again, we see so many influencers out there telling people different things that they can do and get access to money, but not necessarily telling you the pros and cons about how to get it. Or a lot of things that you can do it for business wise, but not necessarily the right way,
right,
or the realistic way, or the cost of doing that.
Right.
The next thing we talk about as far as acquiring a loan from a traditional standpoint, those SBA loans. These are backed by the government and they're less risky for lenders. And the reason why is because a lender, a banker will give you an SBA loan because they know at the end of the day, if you default on that loan, the federal government will pay it. Same thing with a VA loan. So lenders are kind of like, okay, cool, we'll get it. If you're but here's the deal. You got to prove it. The terms are usually 10 plus years. They require a lot of documentation and personal guarantees. One of the major drawbacks, the paperwork is heavy and approval can take months.
Okay.
And this comes from a person that got an SBA loan. I ain't talking about a COVID disaster loan. I got an SBA loan, probably about 14, 15, over 100 grand. And I mean, the application probably damn near 100 pages.
Wow.
And so, I can really attest to that, how that process goes. And it took me about 3-4 months.
Okay.
That's about right, back and forth and all that other kind of stuff. But again, it's more attractive to the lenders because they know if you default on it, federal government gonna pay it back.
Gonna take over for
but when they said the federal government, for they say, okay, we're gonna back this person, they gonna triple make sure that you got your stuff together. Right? We're talking about these traditional places, guys. When you start dealing with these banks, the SBA loans, the terms are gonna be a whole lot more favorable. Just being real talk, because they're not gonna sit here and try to put you in a product like that with a high cost and unfavorable terms. Right? Because why would the government sit there and back you knowing they don't put you in a funky spot?
But they set you up for failure.
Yeah, so exactly. So that's why I always tell people, if you can, try to go those routes.
Okay.
Try to go those routes because in the grand scheme of things, it's going to cost you like less. Now, what you can do is what you can do. Now, when you say you can't do something, is it you can't or you don't want to at this particular time? Okay. Be honest with yourself. Right. Because at the end of the day, I don't think it's that big a deal to put some shit off for 6 months or a year to put yourself in a good situation where, in a year and a half, everything you done lost is gone. Because we done seen people in them fucking spots. Now they missing their car note. Now they missing their mortgage. They done, lost your damn family and stuff trying to hold on to this damn particular business. But you put yourself in a funky spot doing it. You understand? Right. So I would always recommend to go down the pathway of trying to find one of those regulated agencies with doing that, guys. And that's the loans, the lines of credit, the credit cards and stuff. The terms are always going to be more favorable from that. And they also can be more responsive to a situation where if you were to have any kind of hardship or turmoil, they usually have a lot more systems in place to help you because, again, they're regulated. Okay. Just kind of keep that in mind, people. Right. Again, a nice show. We're talking about where do I get the money, where's the money at, how do I get funded for my business. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. Feel free to leave in the comments a question that you have in the chat. Also, feel free to call in if you got any questions. Hey, man, how do I get money with this? How do I do that? I try to get this particular loan, didn't work. You can call in. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894, right? So we went across those, right? Those are traditional, usually your more favorable term lending process in regards to how to get money. Now we'll go with some of the alternative, and this is what me and P was talking about. A lot of times, we have people that are investors and fixer flippers. These use the products they use. Okay. The products aren't bad. They're alternative funding. They're different. Okay. The issue comes up is a person that uses these products that's savvy and knowledgeable about them. It's a good thing. You go in there trying to bojangle with some stuff because it's there. It's all gonna blow up in your face.
It's gonna be on unfavorable terms when you walk out there.
Who remember back in 2003 to 2008 when you could be making $25,000 a year and you got a $400,000 house? Yes, sir. Interest only.
2003 to 2007.
Yes, sir. Interest only. Well, your note was $400 1 month, and then $3,000 2 months later. Oh. Help me. And then you got to pay $8,000. What they call it?
Balloon payment.
Not a balloon. To get out of the damn loan. Right. Okay. I forgot the actual term. If somebody remember what it was, but you had to pay that just say you want to get out of it, like an early cancellation, whatever. It was crazy as hell. But I seen guys. I'm working in a damn warehouse, and I'm seeing these guys. They living in mini mansions. And we making $4.90. I mean, we in there arguing about them little quarter raises and shit. Right. And these guys are living in, Rancho Cucamonga. You know what I'm saying?
Got the big money houses.
Hey, man, and that's why getting into these particular products, those products, like interest on, they're not bad products,
right?
But they're meant for a particular thing, right? When you start talking about investing, short-term loan lending and stuff like that, they're meant for a certain type of industry with a person that's savvy enough to understand what those products are for. Not no damn body that, because I want to say greedy, but just ignorant and stuff,
right?
And got it, and then something like that happens, and now they crying a foul. The problem was, I will say, then too many people got access to those products and didn't know what they were, and they weren't supposed to be given to them and everything.
Right.
And we honest, and we know now going back, that's put our country in a damn super deep air recession.
Right.
And folks jumping from the top of them damn buildings. Geronimo!
All the home loans are defaulted.
Shit, woo, boy! I remember I had that cleaning company $30,000 line of credit. I woke up the next morning $5,000. Nobody get paid this money. Shit.
Well, I work for a big company, and the bank told him one day he making great payments. Like 2 weeks later, the bank told him, "We need that $800 million about you." Like today,
it was rough.
Yeah.
But when we go down this road, what I'm going to talk about now, guys, some of the alternative funding options. And the first one is, this is what a lot of investors use, especially with the fixing and flipping, from an acquisition perspective, getting those property, those hard money loans, and they short-term asset-based loans. Most often used in real estate. And a lot of times, you may they'll get it, and they may the terms they may look at, credit they may not. A lot of times they're looking at it and they'll say, "Hey, we'll get this to you for X amount of dollars," and the rate is gargantuan. But typically, a person will get it from an acquisition to acquire the property, and they already have a plan in place in regards to how they're going to do everything. Pros of it, usually, it's very fast funding. Credit score less important. Cons, like I said before, very high interest rates, short repayment windows, and the risk of losing the asset if you default. Guys, I've been on the damn default side of it, so I can sit here and tell you, that it will happen. You know what I'm saying? Me and some of my partners went in. We got a hard money loan, and we got a hard money lesson.
I remember that.
Oh shit! I can tell you,
right?
And that is real, man. But acquiring it, getting it, usually not that much, man. But you better know what the hell you're doing.
I'm on, like, as far as PJ concerned, I know a guy who was flipping houses. This was before flipping was even a thing. And he taught me. He said, what he does is, what he used to do was, he would fix one house up, right? Use that houses that what we're talking about here, the asset-based loans. Use that house to get money to buy the new house he's about to start remodeling on.
Gotcha.
Right? Once he sells that house, he pays the loan off, uses this house that he's remodeling now to buy the next house.
Gotcha.
So he's never using his own money. What he's doing is he's, real estate-based, asset-based loan. This house right here is built. It's worth this amount in this area. I need that much. And he starts putting that money in this house, builds that house up, sells this house, pays that loan back, gets another loan for the next house.
Gotcha.
Right.
It's an awesome plan if that shit worked.
Right. And it was working for him real well.
Yeah.
Until.
well, and I can just be honest with you, just right now from an acquisition standpoint, it's a whole lot tougher to get that kind of funding unless you have some kind of relationship with somebody in the bank, dealing with more community-based, small area banks because they may know you to do that, because at the end of the day, like, they just say, "Hey, I got this. Let me pull," especially as you do a refinance or pull some of your cash out or something you had to go acquire something else. Access them products ain't really out there like that no more.
Right.
They there. Because I'm speaking of person trying to do shit in the past couple of years. They not necessarily accessible as they were in the early 2000s. We're doing it. But that's why, guys, it was very important. We're having this conversation. Go to the banks and see what options are out there. Because, again, when you listen to these commercials or these people that are telling you, "Hey, make it fix and flip, you can do this, you can get these particular things," people don't tell you the whole story.
Right.
When you talk, it's one thing for me to tell you to go get a hard money loan, to do it or don't do it. It's another thing for you actually talk to the actual hard money lender, and they give you the terms, the rates, or whatever they need, or the information. Now you have it. You're getting third party information. We telling you some shit. When you talk to these people, you got the information. Now you're empowered to know what you can and can't do instead of speaking hypotheticals. And that's what a lot of shit happening at them damn barbershops, cigar spots. People are talking, but they really don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
What you're saying, yeah.
Because I'm seeing a lot of these commercials while these folks with these tax business making $1 million or 6 figures in 3 or 4 months. What the hell you gonna get these customers at?
Right. Where they coming from?
Do you know, for you to have, just say if you're charging $500 for a tax return, we just go and that's above market.
Right.
You charging $500. Do you know how many people you have to do to get? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like sometimes we gotta be realistic. Like, and if you know people don't trust you with their personal information, all this other kind of stuff, man, it'll take you years to build a book of business with just 50 people.
Right.
And it's gonna take you a lot more time to build with 100.
Right.
You start talking about a couple hundred and stuff like that to get that kind of money. You just do the math.
Right.
I mean, sometimes
it's astronomical. Sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to be realistic about, hey man, well I can get into this industry and they can make this, they can make that. There are a lot of opportunities out there in this world.
Right.
But at the end of the day, sometimes we can do simple math and be like, hey man, that
don't add up.
Yeah, because again, I've been in that business over 20-some damn years. It take you a long damn time to get that kind of book of business if you're doing legitimately.
Right.
Especially when we start talking about retention and acquiring new customers. Shit, that's difficult.
Right.
So when I hear people saying that, like, again, I don't get in the business talking about nobody's business, but at the end of the day, sometimes like, hey man, y'all can do math on that shit. What do you think you have access to? Yeah, do you think you got access to do that many people? Especially you start talking about, I'm gonna post on social media and do that kind of stuff. That shit ain't gonna work. Okay. So again, we started talking about the alternative fund, and we just talked about the hard money loans. Other thing that PJ brought up this, he asked about this private equity angel investors. Excuse me, these are investors that trade cash for equity ownership of your business. Perfect example for a Shark Tank. You go there, they ain't getting you the loan, but they said, look, we want 20% of this, and then they're telling you what they want as far as ownership of the company. Y'all work out terms on how they, get paid. They may want certain percentage ownership. They might want a dedicated cash return. A rate may be higher than what the bank is getting, out of perpetuity or whatever. And you got to just be realistic about, if you give me this money, can I lose that, right?
Right.
And one of the bigger things about it, usually if you have a private equity owner, there's no debt payments. You got access to mentorship, and you also got access to networks. And I put you in a position where, like, look, I gave up this, but now I'm dealing with a whole different circle of people.
Right.
And a whole different circle of people can put me in a whole different circle of deals, right? Or opportunities, right? So, it's not a right or not a wrong, but you got to understand how things are. And honestly, be very, very honest about you, right? The cons with that is, you lost control. You done gave up 20-50% of ownership, and investors expect fast growth. They make this cash infusion. You see it when them guys go on Shark Tank. Look, I want this percentage of equity, and at this point, I'm going to give you access to all of this.
Right.
I already have these distribution companies. I already have these production companies. I already have these advertising and marketing companies on place. So that's not going to be an issue. We got that covered.
But I need 33 1/3.
Yeah, and even when you get into so you got to be prepared. And guys, I want to tell y'all something. I want to tell you something right now. That's going to the banks. That's going to the private equity firms, these angel investors, whatever. Y'all better have y'all numbers together and have an idea of what you want. Have an idea of what you want. Not, I can give you this. Well, what do you want? Well, what can you give me?
Right.
No, have an idea of what you want. Have an idea of what's, you can't lose. What's your ceiling? What's your flow? Have an idea of that. Start running some numbers. Remember, guys, go to dinkytown.net. Over 100 calculators. You find you'll see here, an investor calculator, whatever. So you can start working on different terms and stuff like that. Prepare yourself. A person that's good with money, they can find out real quick if you in above your heels, or they can talk over your head to make you feel comfortable.
Right.
And you've been agreed and signed off on some shit that really ain't gonna be favorable for you. And I'm just telling you guys, I didn't know, and I went for sure. Ain't gonna
work it now. There's too many ways to find out.
And there's too many people out here that look like they're for you and they with you. They never the wolf in sheep's clothing. So you gotta protect yourself.
Like you said with the influencer, we ain't gonna say no names and how people were clapping for. A lot of times, influencers and people like that say what you want to hear. They're gonna tell you you're gonna make $1 million in one day. If they think that's what you want to hear to get you to come to this seminar. We tried to show about that before.
And I will say this is another add to that. Sometimes they might not even have no shady shit behind them. They just might be speaking off what the hell they know.
Right.
They just wrong as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they really might not have any ill intentions.
Right.
But they're speaking. And I'm telling you, I encounter that more with people than people trying to get over on folks that, hey man, look, bro, you out your wheelhouse. Right. Like they really speaking on what they believe, but it's just really
for them.
Yeah, where it's based off their knowledge.
Okay.
They don't know, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like you said, it worked for them, but that's just a way. But there are tons of other different ways. So a lot of them, like I said, they don't necessarily have bad intentions. It's just they just going off what they know.
Slick said they just want you to pay that little fee for their service.
A lot of them do, but you like I said, just, let's go to the barber shop, the cigar spot. A lot of them folks out there talking, they just run their damn mouth. They don't know, and they've been privy to. When we have successes in life, we're excited to share it. Especially something you're like, damn, I did something right.
Right.
I didn't get over on nobody. I did a legit way. We feel good. We want to profess it and talk about it and stuff like that. Hey man, it might benefit you. You might want to do this, and you're sharing it.
Right.
But it may not even be the best damn option. It just worked for you and you feel good about it talking, right? Mm-hmm. But then somebody said, well, look, man, I'm already familiar with it, but you ought to try this. And they were like, about that.
Right.
But it really, they just went to what they had the capacity of.
Right. And they want to spread that word.
Because like I said, I've seen that more often. Like I said, when the ill intentions of trying to get over on people, it was more so they just speaking for their level. And I can tell you real quick, just out of experience, I'm like, man, shit, that brother, he really, this ain't his wheelhouse.
Right.
They had capacity. Mm-hmm. I ain't expecting that more. I ain't expecting that less. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, nah. They ain't, because a lot of people, they ain't knocking nobody. A lot of people want to be CEO. A lot of folks want to smoke cigars, take a picture on social media. Don't know what the F they doing. They been in the business is closed down in 6 months. They got their brother, sister, wife, girl, buddy working in the business, and none of them know shit about business.
Right.
And then when shit tank, they got all kind of other reasons.
Right.
That ain't your lane. That ain't your lane.
Right.
And that ain't talking about nobody, but at the end of the day, if you really want to be successful, go take a couple classes at the JUCO. Go get your business 101, business law 101. Study.
And they give those classes free on Corsica.
Hey, bro.
Princeton give out free classes now.
They
last year classes, but they still are relevant to business classes. Corsica gives out business classes every year, new business classes, seminars, all that. Princeton, a lot of the major universities, HBCUs, they give free courses.
Hey, the only thing gonna cost you your time.
That's it.
And that's the thing about it. But that's why I say a lot of times this ain't to knock nobody, because I know there's a lot of people out there that say, I want to do my own thing, I want to be my own boss. This shit's scary. I wake up every damn morning, man. Sometimes like, oh man, these folks gonna pay their invoices.
Right.
These folks gonna do this. I roll out stuff, and I've done things with, and it went great. I done rolled out shit and nothing happened.
Right.
So it's a lot of comfort in working, knowing, okay, I don't really want to go to the job. I'm gonna be highly productive. I might not do a damn thing. I kind of chill and roll the clock, but you still can get a check every 2 weeks, as opposed to you ain't getting shit.
Slick say Bankhead Seafood closed.
Oh man, come on! But they said they're fixing and stuff like that. I just again, that's another show. Just that concept right there on the west side. This that and that.
It was good for when it was.
Well, it was good being a hole in the wall spot that was cool, cheap, and affordable. But you still got at the end of the day, like let's be realistic. When people, but this I don't want to get out there.
It was iconic back then.
Well, iconic and cheap.
Right.
But it ain't cheap now.
And
at the end of the day, you want to make it like, this black socialite stuff, and everybody ain't, going to support. They'll visit it and they'll spend money, but they won't,
Right.
In my day, that line used to be wrapped around that building.
Right. I heard
going
that.
There, we're doing it. But you got, it was affordable, and they gave you way more.
Right.
Shit. No, I won't pay no $10 for no tater tots.
Right.
I mean, real talk.
Right.
And that ain't the neighborhood. You ain't selling dope.
Right.
Right. So you got to kind of be realistic. That's on going back again, market research, doing your market analysis, doing that kind of stuff, as opposed to I want to put something out there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because when we start a business, I want anybody when they start a business, you have the business and keep it going, as opposed to just want to poke your chest out and say I got an LLC, I got this, and I got my tax ID number, and I got it. You don't know shit. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing shit. There's something wrong with not trying to improve yourself, to get information, to acquire, to make yourself better. And also being realistic about, I don't know this. This is not my wheelhouse. Let me go call Lab up. Let me call Mr. Short Dollar up. Let me call such and such up so they can equip me with information, or they can help me get my stuff done. And when you don't, I went to too many restaurants, too many times. They got all the young girls and guys on their phones.
Scrolls, right?
Man, so many times I can be at a bar and I wish somebody just come up. You straight? Want some more? Want some more? Whereas, I done been places where I've been places where folks overcome back to you. Man, you good? Man, that's a sharp thing.
Right,
man, you babysitting that drink. Man, go get you another drink.
I like those places.
Hey, now you don't spend. You might have went in there to have a drink.
Right.
You know, left out here 4 or 5 drinks.
Right.
You know, had a good
service
time.
Was good.
Yeah, you had a good time. You ain't even talking about folks.
Right.
But you got folks, they just, well, we understand, we can't help you. I done seen places, 1 or 2 girls out there on the floor, and they can handle it. They running. And I done seen places they like they about to have a heart attack with 5 on the damn floor.
Right.
They can't handle nobody. So spend a little time investing in you. Let me get back to the subject. We're talking these alternative funding. The next one being merchant cash advances, online lenders. And this kind of like people give you cash advance on your receivables. Let's say if you already got a company where you're already billing and things like that, they'll look at your the average of what you have, or they see the billing that you made. Especially this is kind of common with companies that have contractors. Just say you might be a trucking company, or you may be like a staffing company, and you typically billing X amount of dollars, and they'll front you the money based off that. And they say if you normally have $30,000, you got a contract with the city for janitorial, $30,000 a month. They'll give you a cash advance of maybe $28,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That way you can just kind of keep things afloat with doing that. But they giving that advance, and it's pretty easy to access. A lot of times they got real high fees, and can trap business in debt cycles. Okay. A lot of times what I mean by debt cycles is a slow month. Like you got a janitorial company. I'm speaking this because me being an accountant, I done had to gamble on customers, and I've seen that where they had a month where they were billing, and they were staffing people in particular businesses. But when they had a slow month, that stuff is off a 30 to 45 day lag. You still got them bills, you got to keep up with them. And that particular month, man, I ain't really do too well.
Right.
But I still got to pay them bills with that. So kind of, again, equip yourself with the information to learn different products and pros and cons. That's why I want to have this have this conversation. Again, we're talking about how do I get the money? How do I get the money for my business, right? Because, again, we're inspired by that conversation because me and my son had in regards to so many times people are talking about, fixing and flipping, starting certain things, man, and they can't get access to it. And I want to know, guys, can y'all just share with me how have you guys ever applied for a loan and was surprised by, how much stuff went into the process?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody had that issue and everything,
Just even with buying a house. How much paperwork goes into that process of buying a house? We're not talking about a business. We're talking about homestead housing where you're going to live. You want to move from apartment. Just the paperwork on that alone has to be at least 100 pages.
The not even just the process of different layers.
Right, the different layers.
Loan processors, the inspectors, the appraisers.
I think I counted 8 different layers. First, you got the real estate agent. You got to go with the real estate agent. You got to find the house. Find the house, submit the house for the loan. The loan people got to come out and get it appraised. Then you got to go back to the what they call the loan, the guy who
the underwriter.
Go to underwriting. Underwriting takes forever.
You missed the inspector.
No, we ain't got to the inspector yet. The appraiser has already went out. I think that you don't do I don't think we did the inspector to after the underwriting because we didn't know if we were gonna get the house or not. Once we get the proof for the loan, then we send the inspector out.
I think you missed a step, man.
You think so?
Yeah, because you get pre-approved for the loan. You get pre-approved. I want to get off subject. You get pre-approved for the loan, and then when the loan get pre-approved, then they'll go to the underwriter. But they usually inspect to kind of make sure all that stuff before the underwriter, because the underwriter is like the last piece before it go to closing. So they're gonna look at all of this. They're gonna verify the income. They're gonna do all that kind of stuff. They're gonna look at the appraisal. They're gonna look at the inspector. That's the person right before it go to the closing.
Okay, well, I know it's a lot of people, and for some reason, I thought we didn't do the inspector after the loan. I know what it was. We did our own inspection.
There you go. I got you.
Okay. You get what I'm saying? We did our own inspection. They did an inspection and appraisal. The bank did, and then we did our own inspection.
And just going to the point, that's a lot of shit.
Right.
When you sit there looking at it, you like, man, I just wanted to just go through this. And sometimes, it's easy for people to get discouraged.
Right.
Especially depending on how you come into the situation. It's a lot more difficult if you self-employed. You know, with the scrutiny they give you. So those people have to kind of keep that in mind when you want to go down that route. Again, we're talking about how do I get where do I get the money at? Some of the hidden drawbacks no one really talks about. You know, with all this guys, like I said, with hard money loans, you can lose your property quickly if you miss a payment. You know, they great for flipping, dangerous for long-term holds. But again, you miss a payment.
One.
Ask me how I know. I'm just telling you. Shit.
One payment.
You can't work with me? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Right.
I can tell you I lose almost $30,000 in 30 days. Huh?
Right.
And I ain't talking about that Magic City.
Right. You ain't talking about tip drilling.
I'm talking hell no. Hell no.
Right.
Oh, no. I ain't no rapper, no dope dealer, boy. I was crying about that. Oh, shit. I can tell you. When some of the drawbacks with dealing with private equity, you might get the money but lose your vision. Investors may push for profits over your values. And like I said, you see that a lot of times when those guys, again, when they go to Shark Tank, remember, you're selling equity in that particular business. And what you had envisioned, I wanted to help the community, spread joy to the world. I wanted to build a legacy for my family. Bullshit. Now you got my money. Now you're going to build what I want you to build because you lost that leverage giving that ownership out, right? So you got to be realistic. Not saying it's a bad thing. You just got to be realistic on the front end, what you're willing to lose to get what you want. Yeah. If it's no big deal, okay, cool.
Right.
But he's like, no, I can't lose my vision. But I'm telling you before, like I gave an example. A lot of times people say, well, look, let's do this deal. And, look, I'm going to do most of the work. I'm going to give you the cash. I'm going to do most of the work, so I want 70% of the profit. And you like, hell no. I own it. I started. I want 30%. But that 30% may be 200 times bigger than the 100% you got by yourself.
Right.
So you got to be savvy and thinking about certain things, people.
You think about tech companies. Tech companies do private equity investors all the time.
Absolutely.
And they may get $400 million. But by the time they're done with the $400 million, they get another seed of money, and they got $1 billion, and the CEO only owns 8% of the company by that time. But his 8%, once they go public, is worth $400 billion.
Quadruple what it was before and everything.
Right.
So damn my vision, but I don't made my money. So,
right.
But you have to be understanding, what that kind of stuff does. Merchant cash advances, effective interest rate can be 50% plus, and worse than credit cards. But again, they give you an advance on money you have future earnings, that you be future receive. That you receive in the future. Again, it's not a bad product.
Right.
You just have to be realistic about, hey, what am I giving to get? You know what I'm saying? You may desperately need it. You may say, no big deal, man. We get so much money and I just don't want to wait for that.
Right.
It's a you thing, but equip yourself with the information and knowing that. Even traditional loans, if you personally guarantee it, you putting up just potentially, you lose your house, your car, personal assets can be on the line. So you got to kind of keep this stuff in mind, guys. Right. Got to be smart about that. When we start looking again, we're talking about how to get the money for your business. Also, just the smartest way, again, but it may be the slowest way. Build your business credit, your tax ID number, to help, separate from your personal credit. Work on doing that, again, and that, a lot of times, what I can just tell you guys, instead of you spending time thinking what you're supposed to do, instead of you spending time thinking about what you're supposed to do, spend time having a conversation with those lenders and find out what they want to see. Find out what they want to see. Because like I said, the person at Chase, Bank of America, Wells, Credit Union, they may have different criteria, different things that they want to see. They might put weight on different things. Find out what they want to see. Have conversations. They don't want to talk to you. Like I said, answer your question. You don't want to deal with them. All right, so just be smart with that.
Kelly Sherrod has a question.
What's that?
I'm sorry I'm saying your name wrong, Kelly Sherrod. She was saying, what courses would you recommend for business on Corsica? What I do is I just go on Corsica and I type in whatever topic I'm looking for, whatever specific course I want to learn about, whatever. And sometimes you may have to, if your business is, tying shoes, you may have to type in, tying shoes in order to get the right one, because it's going to be a whole bunch of business topics, a whole bunch of business courses that they may offer. So you just have to really just go through it and see what some of it may be worded wrong and it may apply to your business. everybody says topics differently. It says, courses differently. So it's just a matter of you just going through it and searching and seeing which one applies to the type of business that you have or you're trying to start.
Yeah, that's a good question in regards, because at the end of the day, and I like your response, Lab. You don't necessarily have to be stuck on like this is where you need to start off with doing it. The key thing is finding the information that's out there, and you can just look applicable for your situation. What's out there, you'd be amazed. And to that point, man, there are a lot of places that you can get good information that's free, and there are a lot of places you can get again, people that say they subject matter experts. But I always tell you guys, remember, make sure that these people that give you advice, they're credible and verifiable. Look at their LinkedIn's, Google their ass. Make sure you look at it. If you're gonna get this person course and all this kind of stuff, and they say they've done that, verify that shit the best you can. Verify the best you can. Check them out. Do your Googles, huh?
Kelly has another question. Miss Kelly has another question. She said, "What if you messed up your business credit with the current business? Do you recommend starting a new business and getting new business credit?"
It depends on what you're trying to do. When you messed up is a great word. So what might be messed up to you may not necessarily be messed up to somebody else. It might just be like a situation. Still go back to what I said before. Go see what the lenders want. What they see. If you're not looking to get no loans, it don't make no difference, right? But if you're looking to get lending or whatever, go talk to them, and they can say, "Well, look, man, the hole you done dug yourself in, it's probably best that you start a whole new thing." That has happened to me.
Okay.
And I've also had, I'm talking about talking to a banker, but it's also been a situation like, "No, man, just take out these couple things. We're not really looking at that." So I had a conversation to go back before. Had a conversation with the people that's going to give you the money. Have the conversation with the people that's going to give you your money. I guess messed up a great word.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What I deem messed up, you may not see that way. And what another person, vice versa. So we got to kind of just assess the situation for what we're trying to do. That's a good question. Other things, guys, when we start talking about, smarter ways, make sure you're building up your savings and all this other kind of stuff. We're doing it. Be strategic in regards to what you want to do. Try to find, when we were looking to borrow money, what are we borrowing money for? When we borrow money, there should be some kind of ROI, return on investment for it. So if I borrow $10,000 at a 5% rate, the return for what I used it for, i.e. Staff, i.e. equipment, i.e. for a location, the ROI is going to be higher than 5%. Right? That's how we know. That's just it. If you say, "Man, I don't know how to figure that shit out," nothing wrong with it. Find you somebody that can help you explain that to you.
Right.
And it might take you some time, but you're doing it the right way. Don't be such a rush to be busy, and then when you become, don't be in such a rush to be busy, and then when your ass get busy and stuff get wild, you back at square one because you were wrong. But look, man, I want to start. I couldn't wait longer. I've been dreaming about this my whole life. But once you did it, that dream turned to a damn nightmare. It happen all the time.
Every day.
What you been dreaming for, what you been praying to God for, and all this other kind of stuff, you get it, and man, it makes the whole thing that crashed on you because you couldn't be patient and everything. That's my question.
Yeah, Mr. Ross says, when I say messed up, I mean I had a BOA credit card that has gone into collection. I'm Bank of America, I guess that is.
It's still gonna go back to at the end of the day, if it's in collection or not. What if you're looking to get future lending? What's important to them or not?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like everybody's criteria is gonna be different, right?
On the personal side, if I got some bills going collections, I can't start a new me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
you gotta
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I think damn near mostly Fortune 500 companies done been in and out of bankruptcy.
Right.
So again, it goes back to what I was saying before. Depending on what you're trying to do, because if you're not trying to get into kind of longer funding and you just started working, you still keep it.
I would tell them if mine was messed up, I would tell them I am doing some restructuring. At the big corporations say, I'm doing restructuring.
Well, 90%, probably 95% of business is not in a position to restructure. They just not at that size.
Right.
But still to that point, depending on what you try to add a conversation with the bankers, and don't talk to a banker. Talk to 3 or 4. Talk to 3 or 4 because you're gonna get different advice, different words. You're gonna get different people being savvy. Don't get caught up in the looks, and that's what happened a lot of time with social media. That brother looked good. He was sharp. He had a suit. That sister was talking, using words I ain't never said, and that shit wrong. Right. Really, really credible, verifiable. Credible, verifiable. Google their ass.
Yeah.
Look on that LinkedIn. I mean, you want to really see, okay, this person, can they lie on it? Absolutely. But the more and more you check, I will tell you, people that on some BS, they're gonna they're not gonna spend as much time to be highly scrutinized. I will tell you that.
Okay.
You can even Google search just like lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. So kind of look at that. What is it? Not AAA. What is it? Better Business Bureau. Yeah. You look at all kind of stuff. Look at the Google reviews. Yeah. Look at the Google. There's so much stuff that you can look at.
Google reviews tell you a lot. People look over the Google reviews. Them Google reviews be something else.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. You can verify this kind of stuff. Did that mean that a person didn't accuse somebody of something they didn't do? Yeah, that can happen. But most of the time, if it's boom, 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 it's using stuff they didn't do. Right? There's a lot of them. One instance, somebody mad. Several instances, probably some validity to that. So
Slick says just because they're on TV or radio doesn't make them right or better.
No, they just make them on TV and radio.
Right.
That's exactly what they make them on TV and radio. There's so many times I see people that are panels and all this other kind of stuff. You're like, what the fuck are they talking about? I've seen people I know, man, he don't know shit. He just called me. I had to help him there.
Right.
I ain't on the panel. But I see it all the time because people want to sell things. They want to sell forums and all that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, people get caught up into that because everybody want to be in a better place in life and stuff. I get it. But you don't want to try to take on opportunities that gonna have you in a hole. You know what I'm saying? Getting the money is only half the story. Knowing the cost of the money will keep you in business. Knowing the cost of the money will keep you in business. Don't chase capital. Choose wisely because the wrong funding can bury your dream. Just remember that, guys. Just remember that. You got any questions before I sign off?
Yes, Miss Kelly Sherrod says, when you're not doing taxes, what are you doing business-wise?
Oh, business-wise, outside of doing that?
Yeah.
We're one-stop shop for small businesses. Bookkeeping, tax prep, payroll, consulting. You can go by if you look at the videos in the description section, you can go to the website, my company, Majestic Business Services, www.majesticbiz.com. All the services we provide, but bookkeeping, tax prep, consulting. And so we're one-stop shop for small businesses. So all the services we provide. I appreciate inquiring, but all that stuff is on there.
Okay.
In regards to that. But if you look at any one of the videos, I'm saying that it's not necessarily going to be on Instagram or TikTok, but Facebook, YouTube especially, all the actual links to everything is there. So you can definitely go there and check us out on all the different platforms, and you'll be able to get a good idea of what all the services we provide. I appreciate you asking. I do want to say a couple things before we sign off. Let me know if anybody comes in with a question. I do want to say a couple things. We just released the September 2025 Small Business Grant video. Now, I want to say something to everybody because I did something different and I'm going to be doing it differently going forward. For 7-8 years on Mr. Short Dollar, I went above and beyond giving out information to everybody for free. And I still am. But, I put the link on there, guys, the actual list that's on there. I put 3 videos that are on there, but to get the entire list, it's just going to cost you $6, $5.99. The link is on the video on the YouTube, so that's it. 24 different grant opportunities. It's going to be that. It's going to be small, minimal cost, but I feel like at the end of the day, we've been growing and growing. I'm trying to do more and more things. That's just, I think, $6 for a little admin cost. We're doing that. That's pretty nominal. Now, what I am going to be releasing within the next week is my master grant list. My master grant list. And what I'm going to have, it's going to be over 100 grants, resources, organizations to help small business owners, right? That's going to be anywhere from, we're still trying to work on it, anywhere from that $10 to $20 range. It ain't gonna be nothing, whatever. But when you purchase it, you have access to all that information. So I just want to let everybody know because I have appreciate it. I'm typically just giving stuff away, but as we're getting growing costs and everything like that. So $6 here, $10, $20 there. I don't feel like I'm raping nobody,
right?
And everything, especially what we're giving and everything. But I do want to say that because I know and people He been purchasing. Right. So, but I don't want people like, damn, what's going on here with that? I think that was a fair number. What I came up with, if you don't agree with it, we just, we just be disagreeable. But I just want to just state that. So if people see things like, hey, what's going on with that? That is what's going on. You heard it from me first. But I love, and it's still going to be 90% of the damn information we're giving out is going to be free. We're still going to have the videos and all that kind of stuff. But just with bringing that to you guys, and when I get stuff, I'll put it out. But that, plus that master grant list is going to come out. We got some more information be coming out, but I just want to let that know because I haven't normally been doing it. Just want to let everybody know. But it's it's been a blast. We still trying to get that 100,000 followers. We had 92, 93.
Yeah, the sheriff said you're almost at 100K.
We're almost at 100K. I appreciate that. Appreciate you. But definitely, guys, y'all want to get that September 2025 Small Business Grant. It's on you'll see the video on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. But again, to get the full list, I think 3 of them showing full list, just $5.99. $5.99. You know what I'm saying? They just one Michelob.
That ain't even Starbucks cup of coffee.
There you go. So, but also, like I said, that master grant resource list is going to be out next week. I just want to get you guys ready for that. So, that's still going to be in that little sweet spot, that $10 to $20. I haven't worked out that number in my head, but that's over 100 different opportunities, guys. So just get ready for that. I've just been swamped. I'm going to be much more active on the lives, early in the morning. I'm trying to do that. Business been booming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I haven't had a chance to do that. Absolutely. But I just want to give everybody a heads up on that. But, hey, y'all, thanks for all the love and support. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation tonight. Make sure you guys, again, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, take advantage of all the great information for that. And, guys, listen, if you are in the Atlanta area on September 27th, make sure you check out me and all my Westside Misfits, Westside Misfit TV and radio family. We're going to be at Boss on I don't know the damn name, on Fathom Road
in Atlanta.
Yeah, big on spot. On spot. We're gonna have a meet and greet with all the people from Westside Misfits Radio and TV and stuff like that. What's the times we're gonna be there?
2 to 6 day party.
2 to 6 day party. We're gonna be there, man. So you get to check out all of us. Everybody will be there.
To get you a few interviews.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely y'all check that out. Again, that's Boss. What is it? Big on Studio Kitchen.
Studio Kitchen, I thought it was Southern Kitchen, but they go Studio Kitchen.
Yeah, Studio Kitchen right down Fathom Road. But you can Google it, BOSK in Atlanta. But we'll be there September 28th. 27th. September 27th.
2 to 6.
That's Saturday.
Right.
We're there Saturday. Saturday, okay?
Right.
We're going to be there Saturday. The 27th, 2 to 6, man. So just check us out. Love you all. Be safe. And I'll talk with you soon.